Oh, man. Oh, that's what we doing now. We're just gonna get off from work, come home, and sit on the couch and watch some TV, huh? Who are you talking to? You ain't talking to me. Oh, you don't hear me? You know who I'm talking to. You need to be working on yourself. Get out that uniform, go to the gym, come back, and make this video. I ain't gonna tell you again. Cut the... All right, what's up? What's going on? If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. RobbArmstrong, all one word. All right, so we're gonna get right into it, right? This is the first episode of the guide. This is the guide, episode 1. And basically what this series is gonna be about is just guidance, information, purpose, direction, sharing of knowledge, just anything that's going to help you move forward in what you got to do. We're going to be talking a lot about leadership, mentorship, just anything that I have encountered or I feel like I have to share or something I feel like that's going to help you. That's what the guide is about. So as y'all can see, I just got back from the gym. Man, I got off work. Man, I really wasn't feeling it, but I told myself a couple of days ago that I was going to make this video today. So I went to the gym, got a good workout in. I'm focused, I'm motivated. I'm here for you. So on today's episode, right, we're talking about counseling, right? Now, feel me on this, right? I have a target audience for this specific topic, and that audience is non-commissioned officers. So a little about me. I am a master sergeant in the Army. And I'm out here in Korea. I recently got to a new organization and I'm just learning my NCO support channel, figuring out who my guys are, what are my people about, what are we supposed to be doing, and what's the mission, right? So talking to my non-commissioned officers, I'm asking questions. When's the last time you've been counseled? Who has received the NCOER since you've been here? Can I get a copy of it? Let me get your records. Let me get your SRB. Just collecting data to figure out what direction I want to go. So every time I PCS, every time I come to a new section, every time I have new subordinates, new NCOs, I always try to improve my counseling, right? As senior non-commissioned officers, we got to counsel our soldiers. I mean, it's like counseling is so huge, it's so important, and I get it. I get it. We are busy individuals. You got the unit mission. A lot of things are happening. And there's a lot of times we just don't have time. And I'm not even going to front. There's been times where I kind of slipped on some counseling too. But you have to find some point, some way, make some time, and you have to counsel those soldiers. You owe it to them to let them know where they stand. You know what I'm saying? For me, if you've ever worked for me or people that kind of know how I do business, you should never have to question where you stand with me. If it's 5 staff sergeants, you're going to know where you rack and stack with those staff sergeants because I'm going to let you know where you at. I owe it to you to let you know, to help you become a better person, better leader, help you advance your career, or if you want to take your lesson learned and do something else outside the military, I owe it to you to do that. All right. So back to counseling, right? And we talking about non-commissioned officers getting counseled. So my target audience is non-commissioned officers, and I'm talking about the sergeant first class level specifically. And the reason why, because that's my current scenario. You know, I got sergeants, staff sergeants, and sergeant first classes. I really have to put out good purpose and direction to my sergeant first classes because they have staff sergeants underneath them, and those staff sergeants are going to have sergeants. And the leadership, the direction comes from the top down. When I give that good purpose and direction, they can execute and move within the scope of what I put out, you know? So that's where I'm at. talking about initial counseling. That's like the biggest thing, because that's when I kind of like lay down the environment. People will respond to the environment you create. If you want disciplined people, you got to create a disciplined environment. If you want people that's going to set standards and follow the standards, you got to set standards and follow the standards. That's just kind of like leadership 101. So in this initial counseling, right, we got this form, and y'all know this form, right? Y'all know this form. This is that -1. So on the -1, there's just some general information we kind of gonna fly through a little bit, because some of it's, I'm not gonna say it's not important. It's just not what this episode's about, right? So in the beginning of the form, at the top, you got your admin data, you know, name, rank, DOD ID number, all that good stuff, right? When you're filling out this data, fill out the dang on data. You know what I'm saying? That rated non-commissioned officer, they need to know who their rater is. They need to know who their senior rater is. Put that stuff on that document. They should be able to see that on their counseling. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, just hold that thought, and I'm gonna pull it up and kind of show you what I'm talking about. Well, you know what? I'm gonna come back to that real quick. So you got your admin data. Make sure you fill it out. Put everybody's stuff in there. Make sure you got the DOD ID numbers in there. Make sure you got all those email addresses. Give them some accurate data that they can work with, so that they can see, so that they know. It's just not an assumption. We ain't gonna be coming up on time for an eval and they're like, I didn't even know so-and-so was my senior rater. Put that data on there for that non-commissioned officer to see, right? So then you're gonna get to the second page, page 2. On page 2, you're gonna have, you know, your little character, presence, intellect. That's just like, it's just kind of like basic things. That's not what this episode is about. What this episode is about is, now I'm gonna cut to the video so I can show you what I'm talking about. This is the form I'm talking about. This is that NCO evaluation support form. And as I was talking about earlier, this is all that data I'm talking about here up in the front. Make sure this data is populated. And just for y'all that want to know, all this information that's in here, this DOD ID number, it's just arbitrary information. It's nothing, you ain't gonna be able to look nobody up with this. I'm just putting it here for the sake of letting you know what I'm talking about. Coming down here, you put in there the principal, duty title, filling all that out. And then, like I said, on the second page, you're gonna have the character. You got your presence, intellect. As stated before, this is not the point of this video. The point of this video, and getting to the weeds of this counseling, on the second page, if you look at the bottom right, down here at the bottom right, there's this little button that you can click. And this button says click for continuation page, right? Boom, we click it. This page right here, this is what this video is about. Look how much information is in here, right? The font on this form is very, very small. If you were to type everything out in a Word document, this is almost like 2 pages of information. And when you copy and paste it in here, it shrinks it down, and you could put a lot of information in here, right? Because in our new era of evaluations, our new era of non-commissioned officers, they're going to compete. And when it's time for them to get that annual eval, it's just going to be an accurate reflection of what they did or did not do. You know what I'm saying? So their actions pretty much write the eval. But what this page represents, right? What this page represents is what am I looking for? What am I expecting of a sergeant first class? What kind of purpose, direction, mentorship, guidance, what am I giving them? This is where I put that information. So you may ask yourself, what goes in this box? What goes in this large space? You are what goes in that space. You know what I'm saying? This isn't something you necessarily gonna find in the book. There may be some regulatory guidance that you may reference to help get your point across, or to kind of give your non-commissioned officer something to fall back on. But this whole box, this is you speaking. What do you believe in? What are your values? What are your morals? What do you want your non-commissioned officers to look like? This is you speaking. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of counselors and people aren't using this space. This space is for us. You know, you should use this space. So, like I said, I got this thing pretty much filled up. It's a lot of data in here. So what I'm gonna do is kind of just read some of it. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but just to kind of let you know the mindset or the tone I try to set when I'm talking to these fellow senior non-commissioned officers, right? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 paragraphs in here, and then I got some a reference in here. So about 4 paragraphs down, I'm just gonna read this paragraph, right? It says, staff sergeants are promoted to sergeant first class based on a sufficient amount of displayed leadership, experience, and potential. The sergeant first class level is the first step in the senior non-commissioned officer domain. As you have entered this realm as a sergeant first class, you should be comfortable in your own skin, display confidence in your actions, and possess strong leadership traits. Continuous development is critical to your continued progression in your military career. Non-commissioned officers are the Army's backbone. We are the most important asset to any organization. Train, fit, and determined non-commissioned officers win America's conflicts day in and day out. Your role as a senior non-commissioned officer derives from your duties, responsibilities, and authorities based upon your rank. Adhering to the Army values and the NCO creed, as well as achieving competence in your rank and exhibiting the potential for the next higher rank, is vital. Be mindful of what we are charged to do as non-commissioned officers. After that, I have the NCO charge in this counseling. Straight up, I don't know the NCO charge by heart. I don't. But I read it very often. And every time I read it, it just gets me fired up. You know what I'm saying? It just gets me so fired up. This charge talks about what we're supposed to be doing as non-commissioned officers, the purpose, the authority, the power that we have, you know? And the last line of the charge, you know, it's talking about executing readiness and carrying out duties, purpose, and responsibilities, right? And it says, in doing so, I will fulfill my greatest obligation as a leader and thereby confirm my status as a non-commissioned officer. And that's powerful. That's powerful. That's why I have that NCO charge in there. And I've put the NCO charge in counselings before, but this time I'm gonna do it a little bit different. Once the counseling session is over, I'm gonna have me and my sergeant first class, we're gonna stand up, we're gonna read it to each other, and the tone is gonna be almost like you walk into a courtroom and you taking the oath. And this is just setting the tone of what we about to be doing, you know? And then the last paragraph I got in here, right? It says, lastly, individualist and individualism are two terms you must ensure do not become associated with what we do. Even if it is perceived, that means we are not conducting something accordingly. Perception is reality without proof, and we are here to prove perceptions wrong. Be the standard, set the standard, kill perceptions, be true to yourself, hold individuals accountable for their actions, and always be proud to be a non-commissioned officer. These are the type of NCOs I want working for me. These are the type of NCOs I think the organization needs. These are the type of NCOs I want taking care of my little boy and girl if they decide to join the military. It starts with these counselings. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your organization, more importantly, you owe it to your non-commissioned officers. If you're not passionate about it, find a way to get passionate. Find a way to get motivated. If all fails, subscribe to the channel. I got some more information to you, and I'll keep feeding you. I'll bring it to you. And look, we're going to keep this thing coming. Subscribe to the channel. Rob Armstrong, all one word. The Guide, episode 1. We out.